Scott, it was a difficult week on the road last week. It was always going to be a difficult trip, having 6 games in 6 days, and it probably just got tougher as the week went on.
Yeah, it was a tough time. The Sydney road trips are always a difficult one, no matter what team is going there. I might have mentioned that probably in an earlier interview about you're always going to meet at least 4 of the top 6 or teams at the end. They're going to finish in the end of the competition.
How tough is it to try to back up and then by the time you get to the weekend to try to still find the energy to compete, especially when you've probably had your confidence lowered a little bit? How tough was it in those last couple of games to try to get the girls up?
Well, if you compare our sport to other sports, it's one of the most difficult ones physically, and you don't see too many AFL teams playing 6 games in 6 days. You don't see too many NRL teams playing 6 games in 6 days. In fact, you don't see it. And everyone in this competition is in the same boat, where some of the eastern side of the country teams will travel and do 4 games or 6 games. So physically and mentally, it's a tough gig, and you've got to be prepared for it. The recovery procedures have got to be good, and unfortunately, we had the first game we played sort of didn't really help us too much, and not about the way that we played, but we had Asada come along and test 2 of our athletes, which is quite the norm, but it put us behind the 8 ball because we didn't actually really get out of there at Balmain on the first day until 11:30 p.m. and quarter to 12. So in that respect, trying to organise planning and everything like that and having everything done, it sort of puts everything into perspective. Having said that, I totally support what Asada do, and it's just one of those things that occur.
Having seen that road trip now from this side of the country, is there something as the National League you would like to see it done differently going forward? Would you prefer it maybe broken up into 2 separate road trips, that Sydney one?
Look, I think it'd be a good idea if we could break the road trips up into four games and maybe have a 3rd road trip. I know it's a financial, it could be a financial issue there with clubs, and I get that, and I think, but for the athlete welfare, that wouldn't be a bad way to go. But that's just thinking off the top of my head.
It's not all doom and gloom. Did you pick up some positives, especially maybe in terms of some young players that would have learnt from the experience, but that also show some good signs?
Yeah, one of our young girls, Pippa Pedley, her first game made her debut, and born 2001. And it's not that we push that age group a lot, but she really stood up and performed very, very well. Look, all the girls tried the best that they could do, and whilst the results weren't what we wanted, there were times in each game which they were really, really good, and times in each game where we weren't so good.
Goalkeeper Tess brought up her 50th game along that trip, and she probably did all she could throughout the 6 games to try to keep you competitive.
Yeah, Tess was good for us. She's been pretty consistent over the last couple of weeks, and is getting better. Bear in mind that she's still very young also, and has a lot to go in her water polo career.
Got some home games now to look forward to. You're looking forward to next Thursday to getting underway here at UWA?
Yeah, looking forward to playing our first home game. It's been, for me, it'll be my first one here at home, and we're looking forward to working with these teams. And the girls have got a nickname for this place now. They call it the Fortress. We're looking forward to meeting teams on their own ground.
The club's taken a lot of pride over the last couple of years of building a real home atmosphere at their games here, and trying to build a bit of a, like you said, a fortress, and trying to make it really tough for the opposition clubs to come here. So you'd be looking forward to seeing what's in store with the home fans next week.
Yeah. Look, the administrative side of the club is very, very professional, and we've got some really good strategic thinkers there in setting up the game. They're very professional, and the girls are really looking forward to marching out on the pool deck and having that big crowd behind us, and the barbecue going, the bars open, and couldn't think of a better atmosphere.
Do you think the girls will lift for that? It would have been tough, the road trip all week, and then having the crowds against you and the foreign pools and everything. Do you think coming home now is the perfect time, and it's probably just the lift that they needed?
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, I think you're going to perform anywhere, and obviously home ground advantage is a big difference. Yeah, they're really looking forward to being at home and not being on the road.
Being at home doesn't guarantee anything, obviously.
No.
What have you made of Balmain so far that you've seen or learned about them this season?
Well, Balmain have always a very well coached side, very well structured. They play the game quite physically with their press, and they'll be hard to beat, but anything can happen.
No worries. Good luck.
Thank you.